you take people things and I give it back. Then I have to ask you back for it. I hate that. Hi, good day, happy Tuesday. I wanted to talk about friendship and why it's so hard to make friends in your 30s or even in your 20s. Or the point is, as you get older, why is it so hard to make friends? Friendship is a state of enduring affection, right? Esteem, intimacy, and trust between two people. From babyhood, childhood, teenage, adolescent years, and then of course adulthood. So I'm talking about making friends in adulthood years. All right. So the definition of friendship here talks about affection, esteem, and intimacy, and trust as well. Right. Trust, I think, is number one. So we're gonna go through a list of things that makes it hard for people to make friends in 2022, and also make some comparisons between our childhood years and our adulthood years and male and female, the friendship dynamics. All right, so let's get into it. Before you move forward, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for the points. First thing, trust. I spoke about that, I mentioned it, right? I feel like when you're a child, your inhibitions are very present. I feel like when you're a child, you don't have any inhibitions. Then you get older and you start learning and you start maturing and you start building up inhibitions. What do I mean? You start noticing things, you start noticing, I don't like this or I like that. Fine, trust is our number one issue. And this is the reason I believe children have a lot of friends, because they have less inhibitions. They worry about less things. Life is less serious for them. They're just here to enjoy life. That's why I believe children have more friends, less inhibitions. They're carefree, and as well as they're just having fun. They're not trying to hurt each other. They don't have another agenda. They're all just on the same page, basically. Trust is so serious, like when you can be confidential with somebody, when you can, not confidential, but when you can rely on someone and know that this person's word is their bond, right? So one of the situations I know in adulthood, people borrow people money and them not get them back. Like, come on, you can't be my friend if you do that. First of all, in general, I don't do the whole borrow and lend thing. People have asked me to lend them money, and I have this thought. If you cannot give it, don't lend it. Because if me lend you money, it's going to be a situation where, and I don't, as I said, I don't borrow, I don't lend. I just try not to practice that. Me band my belly and ball and keep it to myself. Me and those in my little circle will know about it. So borrowing people money, not giving back, or even people things, it goes for anything at all. People things, like you take people things and I give it back. Then I have to ask you back for it. I hate that. I loan things. People will borrow your things and them not get it back. And you have to ask them. I hate that I have to ask you back for my something. You came and asked me, you should be voluntarily, I'm done with it now, here it is. Trust, I think when people do those things, it's hard to trust them. Yeah? And this makes it hard for us to make friends, because now you're looking at the person like side eye. Is this really my friend? If they were my friend, wouldn't they have put me in high esteem and ensure that I got back my things and my money? Disregard for you as a person, disregard for, same thing, your things, disregard for, all right, an example, if you work and say you're a tradesperson, say you're a plumber, you build carpet, like you do carpentry, you build furniture or something, and your friend says, okay, could you do this for me? And you do it for them, and the service is not paid for. They don't pay for the service because you're them friend. Not because they're your friends, you should get things for free. In my opinion, I like this little swing. In my opinion, your friend should be paying you. And sure, it's so weird. People don't want to, let's talk about, for example, Instagram or social media. People don't want to like your video. People don't want to subscribe. Who know you? Because they feel like I'll get rich. And left them. Why don't you want your friends to get rich and help you too? Like, come on. Not that I'm saying that you're going to get rich, but I'm like, help your friends. The mindset is, and the Bible says it, a prophet is not regarded in his own city, where he comes from. And that's the point. Disregard for you, disregard for the fact that you're trying to do something, you're trying to make a honest bread. But no, they must, if you're a taxi driver driving a taxi and don't pay, if you, as I said, carpentry, make the dresser and them don't pay feet. A doctor, you have to just see a friend for free and no payment. Like, come on, You know, it's so strange that strangers regard you more than friends. So this is one of the things that make it hard to make friends. So far we did trust, disregard for you as a person, respect. So recently I shared that I stayed over by Trisha and my best friend house, my husband and I. And the point is we have respect for each other. So, you know, not because I'm in her house, me and my husband were there, not because I'm in her house, she came. She didn't come and barge in, and because we did it, she allowed us to have our time. It's just respecting personal space, respecting you as a person. So important that you have respect. Yeah, and when you respect your friend, you're not gonna go and gab about them to everybody. Everybody don't know them business. That also ties in trust. A lot of these cross, but it's so important that you are respecting your friend. Super important. I can't even. You can't disrespect your friend. That's not your friend. Anybody who disrespects you is not your friend, and that's the point. And that's why it's so hard, because people just don't have respect. It's like, you're my friend, so I can do anything. Listen, my guy, your yard, I'm not gonna just open your fridge and whatever, you know. No, your friend have to say, if you and your friend have the time to listen, you're no longer visitor here, open the fridge, do your thing, get your water, then that's fine. But not a situation where you are doing things on your own without your friend's permission. No, in a them place. Honesty. You have some people who are dishonest, you just cannot. Not only that, I want to flip it. So yeah, people can be dishonest, that's why you don't want to be friends with them. It's like you yourself, you can't be honest with them. So you feel like you have to lie or you have to make up a story, or you can't be your true self. That's not friendship. That's you're trying to, that's a facade you're trying to put up to try to please that person or to try to avoid something. So just hard to make friendship in a situation like that. You can't be true to yourself. You're faking it because you're trying to live up to some sort of expectation. Be your true honest self, and it's so important for them to be their honest selves too, right? That's the next thing. So honesty on both parties' side, so important. You can't be my friend if you can't tell me the truth. If you can't tell me, say, Stasia, you did the wrong thing, I don't agree, I might feel a little weird. But you can't be my friend if you can't tell me the truth. Like, it makes no sense. If you can't say, Stasia, this is what I think would make you a better person, tell me the truth. And you can ask my friends, they may disagree, and maybe later they will come and say, you know, Stasia, I think it's true, yes or no or whatever. But it's so important for you to be able to trust your friend with the honesty of helping you to become a better individual. That's why it's hard. People are walking on eggshells and they don't tell you the truth, and then you see the friendship ends and you're like, why did this friendship end? Say something. Come on. I didn't put this one, but jealousy, that just come to me. When people are jealous of their friend. So you're in this type of job, you're in a relationship, I spoke about comparison previously, very, very similar. So basically you are jealous of their lifestyle. You have to look at yourself. That friend, they have to look at themselves and say, you know, reel it back in. Don't want to be jealous. You shouldn't be jealous. You should be happy for your friend and say, okay, you are doing this and I would love that in my life. How can I do that? How can I get to that place? Yeah, talk to your friend and be real, but don't be jealous. Boundaries. Boundaries are so important. Super, super, super important. So I was talking to a friend of mine and she was telling me that one time a friend of hers came to her house and never know when for left. That's what irks me. You don't know when for left? Like, come on. You must know, say, sun a does up. And you must know your friend too. So she had to say, boy, may I go to my bed now. It was after midnight. She had to say, boy, may I go to my bed now? And that is when the person got the picture and was like, all right, let's leave. Moving on, separate from that. So people don't want to leave your house boundaries. No. Another thing, carrying somebody in my presence or in my house. You know, you carry a stranger where a person don't know about, what the person never give you permission to do. Carry a stranger coming in your house. Come on, man. We must learn boundaries. It's ridiculous sometimes the things I see adults do. And that's why it's different for children, because you're at the playing field and a child brings over another child and you get to know them or whatever. You're not in inhibition, so you're not worried about who this person is and is this person a thief and whatever. It's so different. But there's a little kitten, run God. But as an adult, you're aware, you're like, why wouldn't you tell me that you're taking somebody? Why would you take somebody in my private space? Privacy and confidentiality. You know, allow your friend to have their privacy, allow them to have their space. You don't have to be in every single thing. You don't have to know every dollar they make. You don't have to know every single thing. Sometimes some people are just too nosy. And then when you know them business, you're going to tell people. Right? Privacy and confidentiality is so important.
Right? Privacy and confidentiality is so important.
And this is why people don't want to make friends at this age, because who wants their business everywhere, or who don't want to have their little personal space, and you coming over at any time, you leaving whenever you want? No, fam. That's not okay. This is why it's hard to make friends in general in your adulthood years, because people take liberty of you. Obligations. Your friend is not obligated to you. So it's not, it shouldn't be a burden. It shouldn't be a bill we have to pay every month. We have to do this or we have to do that, and if you don't do this, you're not my friend. Or like obligations. We're not talking about the trust and the core things. We're talking about the person feels burdened. They have to do this and they have to do that. And if you feel that way, you should talk to your friend, right? You should say something. Don't feel like, okay, I'm obligated and I need to get out of this or whatever. If you value the friendship, you'll talk to the person and let them know. They might get a little hurt, but that's why it goes back to the whole being honest and being able to talk. If your friendship feels burdensome, that is a problem. Going back to obligation, you don't have to talk every day. This is like maintenance of the friendship. You don't have to talk every day, but you guys should do things. If you even have to schedule it, that's fine, but you should do things to maintain the friendship. I love my favorite friendships are the ones that I don't have to talk to them every day, but every time we speak, it's like we spoke yesterday. I love those friendships. Super duper important to have those friends that are not high maintenance. I can't stand a high maintenance friend. I think I have one high maintenance friend and that's it, and I don't want no more. And even that high maintenance friend is doing so well now, and you know, nearly dropped while ago, you know, and you know, just allowing themselves to be an adult and not needing to be clingy and all that. That's for clinginess. Some people like the clingy thing. First of all, I don't like PDM, I like the touchy feely thing. So I don't like that. No. You know, I believe the best friendships are formed organically. What do I mean by that? Organically meaning you don't have to force it. You can develop a friendship at work. You guys just talk. You guys realize, say, you know, me and that person you click, and when I can go for lunch, when I can go for dinner, whether if you guys are married or in a relationship, you can go for couples dates if you want to do that. Those are the best friendships for me, because I just feel it's not forced. As I said, no obligations. Even, for example, at work, you have to be careful, because you will develop a situation where you're talking to somebody. You always eat lunch with them, and one day you decide not to eat lunch with them. Or if you don't talk before work, one day, Wamty, why you not talking? No, fam, I'm so not about that life. I am not about that life at all. I'm about friendships that are easy breezy and chill. Jesus, he was very serious about friendship. First of all, he had a relationship with God. God and the Holy Spirit are his best friends. He would go away in silence and always talk to God and ensure that, you know, he catches up on his relationship with God daily. That one day wasn't no low maintenance friendship. God friendship was very high maintenance, in the sense of, that's the only high maintenance friendship I want, in the sense of ensure that he spoke to him every day, have a reconnect and all of that, him tell God everything. And that's where full disclosure is, in your relationship with God, in your friendship with God. Yeah. The next one, Jesus had close friends, Peter, James, and John. He had the Holy Spirit and God as his friends, right? Then he had Peter, James, and John as his close human friends. John was even closest to John. So if I was supposed to say earthly best friend, I'd say John. And then he had Peter and James in that circle with him and John. Then he had the other 9 of the 12 disciples, right? So you can see there are stages to this. You don't have to be everybody's best friend or whatever. Outside of that, there was the 120. Well, it would be minus the 12, it would be 108, right? 108 people Jesus talked to. right? Who are his disciples or his friends and whatever. The point is, you can have grades of friends. It's okay to have friends, acquaintances, good friends, best friend, close friend. That's fine. Once you know where you stand, once they know where they stand, once you know the boundaries, yeah, that's fine, right? Something I've realized though, men tend to have more friends than women. You know why? I think just like children, men have less inhibitions than women. Women tend to, I don't want to use the word nitpicky, mosquito bite me. I don't want to use the word nitpicky, but we tend to be more detailed. So if a male friend tend to, what male friendships and female friendships are built on are different. I believe most male friendships are, and correct me if I'm wrong, men, I believe most male friendships are just not as deep as female friendships. I'm not saying that men don't have deep male friendships or friendship with females, don't matter which sex, but I believe men are not as how we are detailed. So your friend, listen, a woman's friend does her something, she is going to talk about it, go through it. Men will ignore that. Men will be like, oh, sure, same stay. They're not going to address it. So there are a lot of things that men do put under the rug, or they don't even, they don't make it bother them. But women are more, no, this has to be addressed, this has to be sorted. So we have more inhibitions, we have more things that will be like, we classify our friendships and we look and say, okay, you this, or this is what I want. We are more detailed as it relates to that. I did not find the specific word that I want to use. We're just more detailed in that. Men are more like children in the friendship department. They have less inhibitions. They don't worry about certain things. Women look for sisterhood a lot of times, look for friends that they can tell them business and whatever. Men, a lot of men don't even taught them business. Like, them themselves have them business and whatever. So I believe that's one of the differences. And if you compare, as I said, childhood days to your teenager days, if you notice, when you're a child, you have a whole heap of friends, and then when you become a teenager, you have less. And then when you go university or in your 20s, you have even less, and 30s. You become older, you become wiser, your circle becomes smaller. As I said, as Jesus did, he had a small circle, then he had a little wider circle with the disciples in general, and he had other people, and that's okay, and that's totally fine. It's just for us to go through these things that I said, the trust, the regard, the respect, the maintenance, the boundaries, privacy, right, obligation, and say, are these things fulfilled in my friendship, and do I fulfill these things? Just another point, sometimes we feel like we are the good friend, but we are not. We always behave like we're the victim. We always portray ourselves as the victim, but there are many times we're the villains in other people's story. So we have to evaluate ourselves too and say, am I a good friend? Have I been a good friend? And you ask your friend, what are some things? Just like how, you have the love languages and you do it for your partner, it's the same thing with your friend. You have your love languages, works in friendships too, how they receive love, how they feel accepted and all of that. So just something for us to evaluate, that friendship is godly and it is biblical. It's even super important, and more so if your friend is a Christian and if you're both, praying together and stuff like that. So I would implore us to just evaluate our friendships and see, why is it so hard? If you're having any one of these issues, why is it so hard for us to make friends? If people do this to us, if we do this to other people, as I said, sometimes we're the villain in other people's story and we have to reevaluate. So be encouraged. Have a good day. Friends are super duper important. I have friends and trust me, I love them to the moon and back, and I would never give them up for the world. Ride or die, as I call them. So friendships are important in life. Be encouraged. Have a good day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment below, guys. We are almost at 300. I'm so grateful. Thank you for every subscription, every like, every comment. Have a good Tuesday. Bye.